Last time on Inside 3T.
Has total in alignment with what we're working to teach our lawyers.
Oh, they got that. Oh. Okay, I can't even get in there.
This place is just abundance, absolute abundance.
Meet Jessica. I know you can't see her, but this is who she is.
And I'm asking these deep questions, and so we get to a point where we have to, there's 1% of them, and there's 99% of us. That's how powerful preemptive programming is. That's how powerful. So what they're doing is, there was on the 10th, there's all these lawsuits going on right now. So SEC is suing Tether, SEC is suing Ripple. The reason why they're doing it, they're ushering in regulation, right? And so what he's talking about is basically, he has keys to that crypto, and if he lost the code to that key, he's the only one that has it. Mm-hmm. So he's about to lose $220 million because he doesn't know the code.
To bring the power back to you.
Correct. He brings the power back to you. And so here's the other side of that. The government isn't going to let us get away with that. They're not. They're just not. So they're going to regulate it, I promise you. They're coming in with regulation. Now, there's two sides of that again. The situation with the guy that's about to lose $220 million, if he had a bank to go to, he's not going to lose that $220 million because there's regulation, right? So this weird balance that we're in right now is that the government wants to regulate cryptocurrency, and they will regulate cryptocurrency. They will. They will because they want their part of it, right? Regulation can be good because of the situation like that, right? And so there's this weird, that's what you're experiencing right now if you're in the cryptocurrency space, this weird evolution we're going through. It's like the caterpillar becoming the butterfly. It's really sticky right now and really ugly. A lot of people are freaking out. A lot of people are jumping on cryptocurrency. I get 100 messages a day about XRP. What should I do? Should I jump on? Do what feels right to you. Like, do what feels good to your gut. I'm sticking it out. Like, I'm like calling we call ourselves the ticks on the dog. We're hanging on. Because it's like, it's all part of the political theater. But that's basically how blockchain works. It has to match up exactly. Now Bitcoin, let me back up. You're going to hear about Bitcoin mining, right? There has to be a miner for Bitcoin. So there's somebody, every time you do a transaction, has to mine that transaction on the computer, and they get paid for that. So it's expensive to move Bitcoin. Ethereum does the same thing. Right? But underneath that, you have like the other cryptocurrencies that it's not proof of work. It's actually just basically it runs off a different system, so you don't need a miner, which that's what we've advanced to from Bitcoin. Right? So Bitcoin's always going to be like gold, like a store of value, and then all the other ones pretend it's like the stock market. You're investing in the actual company. Okay. One thing you got to be careful for too is like if you get into it. You can make quick money, you absolutely can. And so my lesson I always do before I teach, it was my ego side kicked in, and I started doing yield farming or day trading. And so I made $3 in one day. I was like, it's addictive. It can be very, very addictive. It's just like anything else, right? So I saw that side of myself coming back out, and the next day I lost $6,000. I was like, I'm done, I'm out. So I got out of that, and so that's one thing I caution people. If you're going to go into cryptocurrency, like we're, in our paradigm, we're looking for generational wealth, long-term gain. We call ourselves the uncommon 1%. We're bringing the money back to the people. That's our goal. And so going in there making quick money is not what this is about. This is building the infrastructure of our future, right? So the cryptos I'm investing in are all real-world solves. They're good things. There's like supply chain management, moving money across borders, video gaming. Anybody know people that play video games? Imagine being on the investment side of it. So you have coins like Engine Coin. Engine is, I don't play video games, but I guess you can move skins in and out of game, or skins in games. That allows gamers to actually build a skin, take it out of that game, and move it into another game. And so, if you guys see, the movies tell us where we're going. I think we all know that pretty well. But the movies tell us where we're going. So Ready Player One. So Kev, the way we work together, so that's where we're heading. So Kev looks futuristically. He's a movie guy, and I look historically. And so our brains come together. And what we do is, I don't know if you've seen some of my YouTube videos, but I slow those frames down, and we look for signs, symbols, everything, geometry, all that stuff. And so we did Ready Player One, and then the new Flare Network video. Pretty remarkable what's about to happen. I'm telling you, they're telling us what's going to happen. So if you want to know what's going to happen, watch the movies. They're telling you, they're preemptive programming you to tell you what's about to happen. So go ahead.
What flares?
Oh, flares. Yes.
So those that, yeah, you can explain it. And I saw the 3-minute video, that trailer video.
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
God.
Did you?
Chills.
Have you seen the video that I did to break it down?
No.
Okay, so
I'm
within
about to.
It's okay. Within the Flare Network, this is because we'll see something and we're like, all right, well, so we select. But now we have this team of warriors that we have somebody who works in the movie industry, and they'll take frames and break them down for us. And so when you see words pop up on a screen, so this one said "coming soon," okay, and within the "coming soon," and you can use your imagination what this means. Within, so the word "coming soon," there's all these number or letters mixed in with it, and the letter Q came up. I think it was 31 times, 21 or 31 times. Something like that, like 21 times the letter came up, and it's coded in there. And then within, now I'm not saying this isn't political. This has nothing to do with politics. I'm just telling you facts, figures, numbers, logic in the video. We slowed it down even more, and then all of a sudden the big fiery Q symbol comes in. And then as you can see it, and it's like, okay, that's interesting. And then it goes to the next thing, and I'm going to tell you my prediction. So I'll look really silly if I'm wrong, and I'll look really cool if I'm right. So it's like real fast. It's like, and so when you watch it full through, you can't see any of this stuff. So we slowed it down to 25%, and it has all these names in there. Oh, Trump comes up, this guy Marcus, and we started connecting the dots with all these people are connected to the QAnon or whatever. I don't even know if it's Q or quantum, whatever, but this stuff is in there. And so, are you guys familiar with what preemptive programming is? Yeah. Am I saying preemptive? Okay, they've been doing this since we're little kids. I mean, we've been seeing things over and over and over again, and that's why it's so hard to move someone into the quantum, right? So let's back up for just a moment. So to move us into the quantum financial system, do you think they could come to non-woke people, which is most people in the world, and go, hey guys, guess what? Come on over to the quantum financial system. Come on over to the blockchain. They're like, screw you. Like, I'm not going nowhere. So like, how are we going to move all these people? We frauded these people for so long in our banking. It's a fraud what they're doing, just so you know, just straight up. But it's a fraud what they're doing. They're literally, you can't just print money. You can't do that. We would be in jail if we did that. Just so you know. Right. We would also be in jail if we were just running up. We would just be in jail for what they're doing. So they can't fix the system. It's broken. Okay, the system's broken. We have to move into a new system. Another fact is that we haven't had a new asset class since the 1600s. So it's a brand new asset class. We went from Capricorn to Aquarius. We're going from technical to industrial, right? The fourth industrial revolution, or excuse me, from industrial to technical, my bad. We're moving from industrial to technical. So all this stuff is happening at the exact same time. And so you can't go to a bunch of people and say, you know what, hey guys, we're gonna move right away. Come on guys, let's go. Everybody's gonna screw you. So what, are any of you guys in the military? Anybody who was in the ex-military? So problem, reaction, solution. There's a problem that's created, creates a massive reaction, and who's the hero? The person that comes up with the solution, right? That's what narcissists do in relationships. They create a problem, they're like, oh, man, what's wrong with you? You're moody lately. And it's like, and they create a reaction in the person, and they're like, oh, maybe I am moody. And they keep telling, because the narcissist, there's something wrong with them, right? So they're, oh, it's you. Like, why are you acting like that? What do you mean? And they start to believe that they're the problem. They're like, oh shit. And the narcissist comes in with the solution. Yeah, I think you need to go to counseling. Yeah, you know, I got this new thing you need to do. And what they do is they manipulate them into what they want them to do.
9/11 and every false flag.
What's that?
I said that 9/11.
Yeah.
Every false flag.
Basically the same thing, yeah. It's like, remember before 9/11, we could go to the gate. We could walk up the gate to see our family members, and then the Edward Swope and all that stuff. And it's just how it works. It's like, and this has happened in history, in the Bible. It happens with anything where there's power and money, right?
Another thing what Bill Gates is doing with the vaccine.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. And then one thing you have to think about too is that this is a fact, every fiat currency, which is a government issued currency, has collapsed in history. Every single government issued currency has collapsed in history. That's scary. Like, that's scary to know. So, this isn't a fear tactic, just so you guys know. Like, your money's not going to disappear out of the bank. You're not going to lose all your money. People are saying, oh, they're just going to swipe up all our money. The really radical way of looking at it, people are like, oh, you guys heard of Nassar, where they wipe out your sovereign. So they wipe out all your debt. We start over with a great reset. There's a universal basic income, right? Everybody's getting the same income. They did say, the World Economic Forum said in 2030 that nobody will own anything. I don't know if you've seen that video. Study the World Economic Forum, please. They'll give you a lot of, and the World Economic Forum is connected to the elites in the world. And they have a video that says you will own nothing in 2030, and you'll be happy. That's what it said. The guy's smiling, he's walking out of his house. And now, maybe, let's look at the other side of that. Like, nobody's poor. Everybody has food. Everybody has somewhere. There's no stress. You know, you work where you want to work. Like, that could be good, right? So you can look at both sides of the coin. But any questions? More questions you have? No. I'll just keep talking.
How does Flare connect to XRP?
So what happened was, so this is my theory with Flare. Okay, so Flare has a Spark token. So Flare, so if you were an XRP holder on December 12th, the Flare network came out and had what's called a Spark token. And so all the XRP holders had a snapshot on December 12th, and we're all going to get that amount of Spark token.
Where did that get sent to?
Just get ticks it. If it's in your wallet that's participating, so like Coinbase, Crypto.com.
So I had like a couple, like 200 coins in Binance, the old one, right? The old Binance
Yep.
before it became Binance US.
Yeah,
So I had coins in there,
I think they were participating. I can look it up for you.
but I don't know what, like I heard that, you know, 'cause
Yep.
I've owned them for like 4 years, right? And yeah, I never
So what
like
they'll
got
do
a
is-
Spark token or anything.
Yeah, what they'll do is they take a snapshot, and so if you were on the exchange, and then you'll actually see your tokens in April. And so what's happening, so we talk about Flare and Spark, so you don't have to do anything.
So I had to get those coins off of that Binance, the old Binance, or else like it was going to be really impossible for me to get them off of there. So I moved them to another wallet.
Gotcha. Were they there during December 12th?
They were there in the Binance account.
December 12th?
Yeah, on
You should
December
have got a
12th.
snapshot. I'll look it up for you.
Yeah,
See if they did.
I wonder how I figured that out, but yeah.
It does it for you, actually. So it does a snapshot, and then in April, everybody gets their Spark tokens. So we didn't have to do anything. We just kind of just were there. They'll take a snapshot. And so here's what I'm going to predict, okay? Hold on. So Flare Network creates Spark tokens.
So it's called Flare and Spark.
Yeah, Flare and Spark. You can't buy them right now. It's literally not out yet. But what there is, so there's Ripple XRP, okay? Here's what I think is happening. I think that Ripple XRP is going to back our US dollar. I feel it in my soul, and here's why. Because XRP has so much liquidity, and now what are banks in there in a liquidity crisis? And what that means is you have to have money to lend, right? So there's a thing called bank repos, or there's detail, but they stopped bank repos, and now banks are in a liquidity crisis. Banks are going to become all service. That's all they're going to be. There's going to be service in your accounts, holding your cryptocurrency, right? And they're going to feed the crap out of us. That's how they're going to make their money, right? So we're in a liquidity crisis. XRP has tons of liquidity. That means a lot of money, right? They're liquid. So they have enough money to handle the U.S. economy, like the whole world, like literally move money across borders, right? And they keep saying we're going to move into a gold-backed standard. So we're going to go back to the gold-backed standard. Judy Shelton said in a cryptocurrency type of way. So a thing that could happen is XRP could be like the gold back in the dollar. That will bring us back to a fair monetary system. That's what we want. That's exactly what we want. We want to be on an even playing field again, okay? So that would be a good thing, right? So that is going to happen. That's the only way they're going to fix this economy. They need to attach our money to something so it has value. Because our money has zero value right now. It's deflated by 98% right now. So what I think is going to happen, you're hearing, this is going into too much detail, but there's a...
No, keep going.
Yeah, so there's...
important
This is
for
super- yeah.
the right brain people and everyone.
Yeah.
Is because that is a representation of the way that we see ourselves. So when we're looking at the financial system, we're looking at our own value. So when our value is backed by nothing, that's the collective consciousness not valuing themselves.
Yes.
So moving to gold back is us getting into our goals. Yeah.
Yes. And you gotta think too, like we've been trained to work.
I was going to say some more liquidity
Yep.
means quicker exchanges, because the reason why the U.S. was taken off the gold standard, and the byproduct of that was when then Germany, Poland, other countries in the world stopped getting United States goods.
Correct.
That birthed the Volkswagen. That birthed things around the world that got their name, BMW, and then came back to the U.S. with higher tariffs and taxes.
Yep.
So we gave our power away to the world,
Yep.
and then deflate ourselves, bring it back to us,
Yep.
inflate ourselves with taxes,
Yep.
fraud it in between, creating a system that negates all that.
Yep.
Therefore, you create jobs back in the U.S., Tesla technology, free energy, med beds,
Got it.
to then give to the world through the quantum financial system and bring in U.S. funds.
Yes. We gotta hang out
That's my 500.
That's exactly right. Another important thing too is another thing that we need to hang out more. So we also, the U.S. dollar is, have you heard of the petrodollar, right? So the U.S. dollar was pegged to the petrol, to gas and oil, right? And so from, I don't want to speak out of school, but we're detaching from that as well. So the U.S. dollar dominates everything. We dominate, and other countries are tired of it. They're tired of it. We dominate trade, we dominate how much they can charge, we dominate everything. So the U.S. dollar is not, we're not being looked at positively in the financial system, we're just not, right? And so what the whole thing is like, it's like, they call it the New World Order, One World Economy, but he nailed it. But one thing to think about right now is that, this is a grim, I'm going to tell you some grim stuff. This is what's going to happen, okay? They're trying to wipe out the middle class. That's what they're trying. So this goes into your guys' businesses, which is really, really important. I was just talking to Chris about this. Is people are going to need your help. They're really good. People's world, I get emotional when I talk about it. That's why we're so passionate about helping our warriors and why I'm putting myself out there on my YouTube, because people are going to be fucked in the next year, straight up. Mom and pop organizations, anybody who makes $38,000 and below is going to be at risk of losing their job. Restaurants, barbershops, anything in the service industry is going to get crushed. So the opportunity for you guys in your business to really help people is like the time is now. Like that's what I mean. We're talking like this is like the time is now. Like we have to wake people up that they have to have a game plan. Because if they don't, they're going to get crushed. And why we don't want them to get crushed is because who do they have to rely on? The government. The system. Right. Yeah. So they get stuck in this loop, and it's like what I feel like is we need to break that cycle. We need to break that cycle of poverty and say, listen, no, you don't have to be in the system. Like, you don't have to have your job. For example, when I tried to leave corporate America, I almost didn't leave because of health insurance. I was like, so I was making over $200,000 a year, and I was like, so I went, the reason why I brought that up, not to be arrogant, but I said, I went in to go, I'm like, well, I have to go through Obamacare. So I had to go through this Obamacare. I ran it through the system. She's like, well, to leave, you'd have to be able to, for taxes, whatever, I'd have to pay $2,700 a month to be self-employed. Because of the amount of money I made in the past when I'm leaving, I'm like, that's complete bullshit. And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, no, I'm going to do it. I can do it. I'm a generator. I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to leave. I'm like, my ex is like, what the, $2,700 a month? You don't need, there's actually co-ops that act better, that have better insurance, and that's not insurance. I found this thing called Christian Healthcare Ministries. It's a co-op that actually qualified for Obamacare. Nobody knows about it. So I have better health insurance than most people do in corporate America, and I pay $400 a month for my whole family. So it's a bunch of Christians since 1988 that have been put into a co-op. And if you get sick, you say, hey, I'm cash pay. You pay a little bit of amount, you submit your bills, and they pay. Wow. I'm like, what? Why does anybody know about this? I'm like, but it's a system that was created. It's called Christian Healthcare Ministries. And so, like, even if you have a catastrophic thing happen to you, they'll handle 100%. You have a copay just like you pay. Anyways. That's my point of the preemptive programming thing. So, yeah, we're heading to it. We're heading there. And so what's going to happen is things are going to get, my prediction. Okay, so what I think is going to happen in April, so right now we're going through an SEC lawsuit with Ripple. Now, Ripple is a big-time player in the cryptocurrency space, right? So they're being sued right now, and so they're delisting off exchanges. But the crazy thing is Ripple has been meeting with the SEC every single month. They call them the banker coin. Like, they're the banker coin. Crypto, Bitcoin, people hate them. We're the banker coin or whatever. There's a whole political theater going on. They're trying to scare the other cryptocurrencies. What's going to happen? Regulation's going to come in, and they're going to wipe out a bunch of bad actors. So a lot of crappy cryptocurrencies are going to go away. Because I think there's 5,000 or 8,000 cryptocurrency. Because anybody can start a coin. We could start our own. You guys can start your water coin. You could start a cryptocurrency. You can do an ICO.
Financing with a coin.
Absolutely.
So I literally just had this conversation with someone the other day.
MLMs are going to start operating on blockchains. Guaranteed they're going to operate on blockchains.
Yes.
100%. It's the most efficient.
Manifested our sacred economy. There you go. Boom.
This is the foundations of the sacred economy, what we're talking about, what we're building right now. Because most people are dependent on the system, and we have something that is interdependent. It is not dependent on the marketplace in order to sell our product. No matter where the economy is, we're sovereign from that. If people have money, we make money. If people don't have money, we make even more money.
That happens.
Because people lose their jobs and they're looking for opportunity. We are the opposite. We're functioning. So I feel like the market is the mark of the beast. Like that is when you're dependent on the market to sell your product, you're dependent on the market.
Period.
Yes, that's where our business is all designed around. So we like it evolved into teaching cryptocurrency. It was crazy. I was like, the other day I was like, teaching cryptocurrency. It was just weird. Like, really, remember, I can't do math, so just I have a technical. So we have, like, I stay in my lane. The way you're explaining it out there, for example, like on every YouTube video I do, I say, don't believe a word I say, do your own research, because I literally will research and research. I mean, I won't sleep until I find the answer. I'm like, okay. And then, so the way my brain works is I've connected the World Economic Forum, the IMF, Brad Garlinghouse, Trump, all these people to all this thing. There's something, that's why I stay completely neutral. I stay neutral, and I'm like, okay, my religion is, Kevin and I's religion is human religion. So we're here, and what they're doing is they're making us pick left and right. They're putting us into a jar and shaking the living shit out of us. And we're all super confused right now, and the next 10 days are going to be crazy in our life. It's going to flip everybody upside down. And it's an opportunity for our group, to wake people up. The world is waiting for us, like literally, patiently, like, come on, guys, activate. And it's like, we're like, ours is warriors rise. Yes, like center yourself, get ready, and accept. Like, get ready for abundance. Like, get ready for people to come in and teach. Like, so that's where it goes into the whole cryptocurrency space. But that's cryptocurrency. We're heading into it. We can't stop it. It's like a freight train. It's a beautiful thing, though. It's a very, very beautiful thing. It's really amazing because it matches and aligns with us, right? It's energy, it's vibration, it's non-physical, it's metaphysical, it's spiritual. It's a beautiful thing. It's a really, really, really beautiful thing. So,
I have a quick question.
Yes.
It doesn't really have anything to do with cryptocurrency, but have you done any research on freedom cells?
No.
So, like this whole, like the World Economic Forum, the NWO, Bilderberg, Agenda 21, like you can read all that shit on the internet. It all sounds great, right? Like it sounds like, oh, this is awesome, whatever.
Yes.
But what it is it's a top-down structure, and they're still controlling it. The elites are still doing it. You know what I'm saying? So freedom cells is an opportunity, more or less, and there's thousands of them across the world. And it's really like Native American-esque kind of thing, and it's a way where like the 99% can really take back their sovereignty from the entire system. Where like there's a freedom cell, like you're building your company's freedom cell all about cryptocurrency. We're kind of have our own little freedom cell about water, and like it's these different. But what it is it's like it's way deeper than that. It's people in communities, like 8 to 12 people who literally have everything that you could possibly need. Like somebody's growing food, and it's like these different ways that we can start to think and implement. I really encourage you to look into it because I feel like it would be.
Because that's what we're heading into. We're being just guided into. Like right now, we have a grow tower sitting in our thing ready to get put up. We're doing the vertical integration in our academy. When our clients come in, they're going to get free fruits and vegetables.
That's awesome.
And so we're going to have sorted in them. Now we're going to talk about water, and we're getting into water. Water, vertical integration. Because what we want to create is self-sustainability, like a community where like the things that I tell my warriors, I'm like, think about it. People went and bought toilet paper. Yeah. They went and bought toilet paper. I was like, they're up there in the elites going, we got them. We got them. They're buying toilet paper. We got them, right? I guarantee that's what they were saying. These people are buying toilet paper. We got them. So think about that. Yes, dude, people are fighting over toilet paper. They're like, we got them.
So they're going to take those people, right, or gun or whatever, and that's why I say that top-down, power-hungry type thinking way system isn't going to, it can't sustain itself. Even at that level, like you say, they're trying to eliminate the middle class. So a way that we can save the middle class is with like awakening people about these freedom cells. And it's a really beautiful thing. I encourage everybody to listen to them. Yeah, they're really cool. There's probably one around your neighborhood, like within an hour and a half drive. They're all over. So check them out. Yeah, freedom cell. Yeah.
I love it. And the way I picture this too, so I love God. I love God. And so I don't.
We do too, bro.
We follow the life of Jesus, but I really feel, I'm just gonna put this out there, and I keep saying this online, and I really feel like this is just like when Jesus was here. Like think about this for just a moment. Jesus was not religious. Jesus was spitting fire. He would go into churches, he would spin there, he would spit fire and leave. He's like, I'm out. See you guys. And they're like, hey, he would save somebody, he's like, oh, I'd save him, he's leaving. And they're like, hey, you're getting praised. He's like, I'm out, I'm going to the next village. And he was just like, there was just why can't that? This is going to be, you guys realize we're in a historical time.
We're all into the Christ one.
Okay, yeah. So it's like he died as Jesus. Jesus Christ came back as Christ Jesus. The sacrum, all the bread.
Have you read through the Gospel of Peace?
I have not.
Essene's Gospel of Peace, Book 1. Read it.
Okay,
It's all about Jesus.
Jesus,
It's all about Jesus.
known as the living water.
See? Yeah, so it's like,
No, the living water.
but what if, like, this is what we talk about. Kev, if you want to jump in, please do. Like, Kev's like, just shut up, man, I just talk. But I'm like, this is like, what I see in my study is that this happens over and over and over and over. It's some reason we don't learn. It's like we don't learn as humans. Because think about what's happening right now, right? There's like if the way that I talk, we get shadow banned, right? We get shadow banned. They shut down my account. I get deemed a dangerous individual. It's like the modern day Jesus is like speaking truth, right? And it's like the righteous people, and it's like, think about that. That's the modern day Jesus. So you're on there speaking. We're all Christ consciousness, right? So we're speaking our truth. And as soon as you speak truth, it's like whatever you believe, left, right, Trump. But they banned our president from social media. What the fuck is that? Like think about that. And the fact that people aren't waking up to that. Like that the people aren't really going. Even if you're left, it's like you're not going. That's weird. That's really. I'm like, oh, okay. Like this is so. Like our voice needs to get louder, and not loud. Not protesting, louder in here. It's like that feeling, the vibration, the water. Like I'm feeling it right now. Obviously, you can tell, like the energy, the vibration, and as we come together. So, yeah.
Can I offer a water lens?
Yes, please.
So, what you said about why don't we learn? Why don't we learn? Why don't we learn? What happens? What needs to happen in order for us to learn from our mistakes is we have to be able to see them. We have to be able to see the mistakes. We have to be able to see the patterns. But because the patterns were so deeply programmed into the subconscious underworld, we couldn't see them. So it was this, I don't know what's going on in my subconscious mind. It keeps on controlling me. I keep sabotaging myself, whatever the patterns are. And 2020 brought all of what we could not see to the surface to see. So we got our vision. We got our, we call it 20H2O vision. The ability to see our reflection. And when we're able to see our reflection, a newfound awareness comes to the surface. And that's when all of a sudden we get out of the unconscious competence, incompetence, which is we don't know what we don't know, to conscious incompetence, to now we know, but what are we doing about it?
Right.
That's where we're moving into the fourth phase. We've melted the fourth phase, like we've melted from the solid phase, now we're in the liquid phase, liquefying our assets, liquefying faster exchanges at an exponential rate. So we're going through the fourth phase right now, and those of us, oh my gosh, those of us that were gifted the sight, we've been gifted the vision to see.
And does anybody know, since this is a little community, I have a question. So we studied the 144,000 people in the Bible. Who were they?
Yeah.
Is that us? Yes! It's us. It's like, I'm telling you, this has happened over. This is like the
For all this time, all of the months, all of everything, like we're literally soul fam just coming back together. We've done this for so many lifetimes. We know, and that's why like you two can walk in here and be like, oh, these are my people. Like all everything, and we're on the other side. We're like, these are our people. Like it's that resonance. You guys and us have all been together.
So now,
Wait, 144? There's also 144,000 frequencies in the human body.
research time.
Well, each character in the Bible is also a metaphorical representation of the body, which broken down to the quantifiable level of anything, atomic, molecular, is vibration, energy, and frequency. So the Bible is a full-on 3D manifestation of 144,000 rays of vibration.
Yeah, the Jordan River 33 vertebrae up to the mountain of skull where he was crucified. It's like, and then he says, and then he's on the cross. He says, "Please forgive them, for they know not what they do." You know, so it's like, Father, please forgive them, for they know that. They comes back to Christ Jesus, and like that's what the business thing. Like I think like, man, like people are going to need help. I'm telling you, like I don't think people have any idea what's coming in regards to. There's gonna be food lines. There's gonna be.
There already are.
Yeah, it's getting worse and worse, and people.
Tens of thousands of people.
But that's where our voice can get really loud, right? Because you're gonna attract. Like we just got our voices louder here, When I started to just go, this is what you need to do, this is what I got nobody. When I started to just become it, I got everybody.
Yeah.
And it was like people just came out of the woodwork, right? So it's like, yeah, that's what we're doing.
So now, so now, coming from this lens, like we've all obviously got the same lens about what's happening. What if somebody were to come to you and be like, where do I start investing right now? What can I do with what I have?
Yeah, yep. So we teach that. I mean, so we're family, but it's like that's what we do in our academy. We teach that. We literally teach. I show. So what the way that it's designed is I literally just I'm like, here's my portfolio. Here's what I do. I'm not a financial advisor. Here's what I do. Here's why I do it. Make your own decision, right? And so that's how we teach. And we literally teach through actually showing. Because one thing I always ask people, they say, well, my financial advisor said this, and I said, well, go to your financial advisor and say, let me see your portfolio and show me exactly like that. It's not going to look like this. It's going to look like what the bank wants them to sell in order to get the best condition. Which is, it's not the financial advisors are bad. Please know that. Like, they're not bad people.
Forgive them, so they don't know what
They're doing, they're just doing what they're doing. I was in banking, they literally selling products.
Next time on Inside 3T.